Hey guys, Ben here with the channel helping you earn more, spend less, and invest the difference. Now today we're going to be talking about the shopping cart trick, both what it is, who it's good for, and a few alternatives in case you're not able to get this method to work. So be sure to stick around all the way to the end because I've got a lot of great backup plans for you guys. So essentially the shopping cart trick is a way to get approved for credit cards when you have less than stellar credit. This is going to be for people on the lower end of the credit spectrum. Now, while there is still an approval process, these cards are dramatically easier to get approved for than if you had just gone to, let's just say, bankofamerica.com and tried to apply for one of their cards. So essentially with this method, we are going to go to an online website, a store that offers a store branded credit card. And we're going to load up our shopping cart, our online portal. We're going to load this up with a few $100s worth of stuff, maybe $200-300 worth of stuff. Don't worry guys, you are not, I repeat, you are not going to actually be buying any of this stuff. So it doesn't matter what you put inside of your shopping cart trick, all right? But we're going to load up your cart with a few $100s worth of stuff, and we are going to start the process of actually checking out. Don't actually check out. Do not spend any money. Now, at some point in this checkout process, a pop-up should appear congratulating you, saying that you've been pre-approved for their store-branded credit card, and then you would just go ahead and click accept and go through the prompts at that point. All right, so let's jump straight into it. Let's take a live demonstration and show you guys exactly how to do the shopping cart trick. And after the demo, I'm going to do some troubleshooting techniques in case you weren't able to get this method to work, and then provide a few alternative options for you guys. So let's jump straight into it. All right, guys, so here we are at campingworld.com. This is my first time going to this store, so we're going to figure this out together as we go, all right? So basically what you're going to do with this shopping cart trick is you are first going to load up your shopping cart with a few $100s worth of stuff, and then you're going to start the checkout process. I have to stress to you guys that you are not going to actually check out. So it does not matter what items you put inside of this shopping cart trick. Now, first thing, obviously you got to make sure that your pop-ups, like I said, is disabled. You would just come up here to your internet settings and make sure you disable any sort of pop-up blocker. I've already done that for the purpose of this video, so let's get into it. Let's pick some folding bag chairs, I guess. It doesn't really matter what we buy. Why did that not do anything? Folding bag chairs. There we go. All right, so there we see how annoying pop-ups are, all right? So obviously my pop-ups are disabled. Be sure to re-enable your pop-up blocker once you are done with this trick because this stuff is highly annoying. All right, so like I said, we need a couple $100s worth of stuff, and these are, 50-some bucks a piece. So let's just buy a couple of these. We'll put in, let's just say 5 of them. That's going to be, I don't know, $200-300 worth of stuff. Add to cart. I got to pick a color, I guess. Add to cart. All right, so let's go ahead and check out. All right, so here we go. Our estimated total is about $275. We are going to just go ahead and check out. Now, if you have an account with these guys, I guess you can go ahead and log in. I'm going to just hit checkout as guest. It theoretically should not matter. All right, so now it's going to have me put in all of my personal information here. I'm going to blank out this section of the video because y'all a bunch of creepers and you don't need to know where I live. So hold on, I'll be right back. All right, guys, so there you go. As you can see, a pop-up here has came up right when it was asking me to actually put in my payment information. So like I said, you do not have to actually check out. They're going to ask you if you want this credit card before you have to actually buy anything. Now, it looks like if you go ahead and get this card, there's some sort of rewards programs for it. So at this point, all you would do is hit, yes, I'm interested. It's going to give you a couple of different prompts and guide you through the process of finalizing this credit card for you. But you have already been pre-approved for this card. So they went ahead and did a soft pull for me, saw that my credit was good enough to get pre-approved for this card, and they have extended this offer to me, all right? So then once you have gone through the process and actually applied and been approved for this card, you would then back out, cancel everything in your actual shopping cart. You do not have to buy anything. Just close out of the web browser. Make sure you re-enable your pop-up blockers, and at that point, you should be good to go, guys. Your card should be in the mail, and you usually get this stuff within about 7 days or so. All right, guys, so that was it. It really is that easy to get pre-approved for some of these credit cards using the shopping cart trick. That's why it's such a fantastic option for people that are on sort of the lower end of the credit spectrum. Now, if you weren't able to get this method to work, there's a few things that I want you to double check and make sure on, and then we're going to jump into some alternative options for you guys as well. All right, so first and foremost, make sure that you actually turned on your pop-ups. You disabled your pop-up blocker. You got to go into your internet settings and play around and turn off your pop-up blocker. Now, a lot of times you got to actually close out that internet browser entirely and restart it in order for these changes to actually take effect. So that would be my first suggestion if you weren't able to get this method to work. All right, so if that didn't work, the second thing to double check is your address that you're using when you go and check out. Make sure that the address that you are inputting is the same address that's on file with the 3 different credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. If the addresses aren't matching, they're not able to match up your identity, and they are not able to extend this offer to you. So I would suggest going to Experian.com and logging in and see what address they have on file for you. This is especially true if you just recently moved, if you're a little bit nomadic, and maybe you're a couch surfer and you just kind of hop around staying with different friends. So make sure that the address that these credit bureaus have listed on file is actually correct. If it's not the correct location, update your address with the 3 different credit bureaus to ensure that you have the accurate, most up-to-date address on file. Give it a couple of days for their system to go through the process of finalizing these changes, and then reapply for a credit card after that. Issue number 3 that you're going to want to check is obviously make sure that you didn't freeze your lines of credit, right? Some people, when they're disputing different negative credit items and stuff like that, they start freezing and locking out all of their different credit accounts. So if you did that, then that's a great place to start. You want to unfreeze everything. These guys do need access to your credit in order to actually get you pre-approved for one of these credit cards. So make sure you don't have anything frozen. And along those same lines, if you have ever specifically opted out of receiving these credit offers, in the past, people used to get a lot of junk mail in the mail, so they created a way for people to permanently opt out of receiving this stuff. So if you have ever chosen to permanently opt out of this stuff, you can go to optoutprescreen.com and specifically opt back in to receiving this stuff. It usually takes a couple of days or a week or so for this process to update, and then you should be able to go in and attempt this shopping cart trick again. Now, this is only for people that have previously specifically gone in and chosen to opt out. So for most people, this shouldn't be an issue for you guys. All right, so if you've tried all of this stuff and you are still not able to get the pop-up to work, the shopping cart trick to work, then it's probably because, unfortunately, your credit score is too low even for this shopping cart trick to work. But don't worry, I've still got a couple of fantastic options for you. I'm going to recommend 2 different credit cards that anybody can get, all right? So the first one I'm going to recommend is a secured credit card. It's going to be the secured MasterCard from Capital One. You do have to post a security deposit, and they just sort of hold on to this deposit, and that is the collateral to ensure that you pay your bills like you're supposed to. Now, most secured credit cards have a minimum $200 security deposit, but the secured MasterCard from Capital One has 3 different options as far as what the minimum security deposit is. And that minimum, they're going to tell you, and it's based on your credit score. So we already know that your credit score is bad. So if your credit score is super incredibly terribly bad, they might charge you the full $200 security deposit, and then you get a credit limit of $200. But if your credit score is only pretty bad, they might only charge you $99 for security deposit, but you're still going to get a $200 limit. And if your credit score is only decently bad, they might only charge you $49, but you're still getting that full $200 security deposit. So theoretically, you can jump into this credit card for as low as $49. It just kind of depends on your overall credit score, but this is going to be by far and away the lowest security deposit of any of the secured credit cards on the market. And the best thing yet, it does not charge an annual fee. A lot of secured credit cards charge you maybe $30 or $35 a year just for the privilege of having this secured credit card. So that would be my first option for you guys. In addition, after a handful of months, they're gonna check your credit rating and make sure that you've been paying on time. And assuming you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing, they're gonna look to try to increase your credit limit above that $200. And they're also going to periodically check your overall credit score, and if your score has now climbed high enough, they will actually kind of graduate you from that secured credit card into an unsecured version of that same card. So at that point, they will refund your security deposit back to you. The next option I have for you guys is going to be the Chime Credit Builder credit card. Now, this is a full-fledged credit card, but it really acts like a debit card, so there is no security deposit required for this particular credit card. Now, it is still a credit card. It reports to all 3 major credit bureaus just like any other credit card, but it functions like a debit card. So the way this Chime Credit Builder credit card works is you're going to put money into your Chime, basically a savings account with Chime Bank, and then they're going to use that money for this credit card. So this card does not have a defined credit limit. Your credit limit is effectively however much money you have inside your Chime savings account. So your limit is always kind of fluctuating, all right? So if you put $200 into your Chime savings account and then you swipe your card for $100, then they just take that $100 out of your savings account to pay off this credit purchase. So now your available limit is now $100. So maybe you put in $300 more into your savings account, so now your limit goes up to $400. Now, as far as reporting to the credit bureaus, it does not report your credit limit to the credit bureau. So this is neither going to help nor hurt your credit utilization rate. This is going to be along the lines of a lot of the American Express charge cards. These cards do not report a credit limit to the bureaus. They're only looking for, are you paying your bills on time? Yes or no. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for us today, guys. The shopping cart trick for campingworld.com, where you can probably get pre-approved for a significant credit limit credit card, even if you have less than stellar credit. I gave you a couple of tips to troubleshoot if you're not able to get it to work, and I even gave you 2 fantastic options for you guys to get approved for credit cards, even if you have terrible credit. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below, give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and as always, I'll see you all again next time. Thanks.